Loganair Limited is a Scottish regional airline founded in 1962, with its registered office on the grounds of Glasgow International Airport in Paisley, Renfrewshire. Its tagline is Scotland's airline. Loganair operates scheduled services under a Flybe franchise in mainland Scotland and Orkney, Shetland and the Western Isles. It also provides services from the Scottish Air Ambulance Service and night mail services on behalf of Royal Mail. In addition to its main base at Glasgow, the airline has hubs at Edinburgh Airport, Inverness Airport, Dundee Airport and Aberdeen Airport. The company holds a United Kingdom Civil Aviation Authority Type A operating licence. It is permitted to carry passengers, cargo and mail on aircraft with 20 or more seats. History: Loganair was established on 1 February 1962 by the Logan Construction Company Limited, operating as its air charter arm with a Piper PA-23 Aztec based at Edinburgh. In 1967, Loganair began flights between the Orkney Islands, and started operating in Shetland in 1970. In 1966, after Renfrew Airport closed, the airline established its head office at Glasgow Airport. This aspect of Loganair's operations ceased on 31 March 2006 when the new contract for air ambulance work was awarded to Gamma Aviation. Between 1968 and 1983 the company was owned by the Royal Bank of Scotland. Towards the end of this period, Loganair bought short 360 and Fokker F-27 aircraft. The company brought jets into the fleet with two British Aerospace 146s. In December 1983 it became a subsidiary of the Airlines of Britain Group. Further aircraft were added to the fleet: BAE Jetstream 31, BAE Jetstream 41, and BAE ATP aircraft. In the late 1980s, Loganair was the fastest-growing scheduled operator at Manchester Airport, and, in terms of number of flights, was the airport's second busiest carrier, after a restructure of British Midland Group in 1994. Loganair's routes outside Scotland and the aircraft used to operate them were transferred to Manx Airlines. This consolidation of services led to the formation of a new airline, British Regional Airline, in 1997, with Loganair now consisting of 6 aircraft and 44 staff. A management buyout occurred. In June 2005, Loganair was awarded a contract from the Irish government to operate a daily return service from Knock, County Mayo to Dublin. This public service obligation route operated for a period of 3 years as British Airways, with effect from the 22nd of July 2005. The operation ceased in July 2008, the contract having been lost to Air Aran. The airline bought routes from City Express in March 2004. It flew BA's BAE ATPs on them until 28 May 2005, when further sub-340 aircraft were purchased to replace them. There were also services to Belfast City Airport and to Birmingham, England from Dundee, which ended on 2 December 2012. On 8 July 2011, it was announced that Loganair had agreed to purchase Cambridge-based Scott Airways. Scott Airways continued to trade as a separate entity and holding its own licenses and approvals until April 2013. After CityJet had terminated its services between Dundee and London City Airport in January 2014, Loganair took over the route, operating from Dundee to London's Stansted Airport, with the support of a Paseo agreement. In August 2015, the airline became part of a new regional airline group, Airline Investments Limited, along with East Midlands-based airline BMI regional franchise operation until October 2008. Loganair was a British Airways franchisee, operating flights sold through BA using BA flight codes. Loganair's inter-island operations between the Orkney and Shetland Islands carried out using Britain-Norman Islanders was removed from the franchise agreement in 2004. The flights have since been marketed under Loganair's own name, rather than British Airways. Loganair became a franchise airline of Flybe, operating in the Flybe colours. Flights are also operated under a codeshare agreement with British Airways connecting flights from Scotland to London. The franchise has been criticised by residents in the Scottish Islands for what they perceive to be excessively high fares, and a Facebook campaign set up in June 2015 to highlight the issue attracted over 7,400 likes over the course of its first weekend. In May 2015, two Viking Air DHC-6-400 twin-otter aircraft were acquired by Highlands and Islands airports to be operated by Loganair on the Scottish Government's public service obligation routes between Glasgow and Campbelltown, Tiree and Barra. Destinations. Part of Loganair's operations includes the world's shortest scheduled commercial route between Westray Airport and Westray Airport, a distance of 1.7 miles. Fleet. As of April 2016, the Loganair fleet consists of the following aircraft: accidents and incidents. On the 12th of June 1986, a DHC-6 twin-otter aircraft with 16 people on board struck high ground on the island of Islay in poor weather. The pilots had mistakenly identified the coastal village of Laproig as the town of Port Ellen, near Islay's Gleneagledale Airport. There was one fatality, a pilot. In 1996, a Britain-Norman Islander was destroyed in Shetland. The accident occurred during a nighttime return flight to the aircraft's home base following a medical evacuation flight. The aircraft crashed short of the runway whilst attempting to land after a previous discontinued approach in strong gusting crosswinds. The pilot had exercised his discretion to extend the period for which he was allowed to fly that day. The pilot's medical certificate had expired 19 days earlier, thus invalidating his pilot's license. The pilot was killed in the crash and a doctor on board was seriously injured. A nurse seated at the rear of the aircraft sustained minor injuries. On the 27th of February 2001, Flight 670, a short 360 registered GB&MT operating a Royal Mail flight at Belfast, crashed into the Firth of Forth shortly after taking off from Edinburgh at 1730 GMT. Both crew members were killed, but there were no passengers on board. An Air Accidents Investigation Branch inquiry later blamed a build-up of slush in the aircraft's engines for the crash. Protective covers had not been fitted to the engine intakes while the aircraft was parked for several hours in heavy snow at Edinburgh. On the 15th of March 2005, a Britain-Norman Islander crashed into the sea while descending toward Campbelltown Airport in Western Scotland. The aircraft was operating on an unscheduled air ambulance flight. Both occupants, the pilot and one passenger, died in the crash. As a result of this accident, the European Aviation Safety Agency accepted safety recommendation UNKG 2006-101 from the UK's Accident Investigation Report, which the European Commission adopted into regulation, making passenger shoulder harnesses mandatory on all commercial air transport aircraft weighing less than 5,700 kilograms and having fewer than 9 passenger seats.